has performed magic for children all over the world and is wrapping up his sold-out off-Broadway run at the Soho Playhouse here in New York City. Please welcome Mario, the Maker Magician! Mario! We are so happy to have you here!
I am so happy to be here.
Yeah.
You guys, are you ready? Everyone say, start the show!
Start the show!
Everyone say, what's your problem?
What's your problem?
I'm from New York, that's my problem. Maestro, start the music! Wiggle your fingers, everybody! Wiggle them at my suitcase and shout abracadabra! And now we can start the show!
Whoa!
Everyone say rise!
Rise!
Those are straws! Everyone say down!
Down!
Those are pizza boxes! Grab some magic and say, ah! We're doing it! Go fishing and say, woo! I made this stuff! Come on, 17 motors! Thank you very much! I am so excited to be here! This is gonna be amazing! What's that? What? No! I made this! I made this! Oh my goodness! Okay, if you're laughing, that is not funny. I made this myself. My goodness! My name is Mario. I'm the world's greatest magician. That's why I'm here tonight. Oh my goodness! I am here to inspire you. I am here to tell you that magic is real. I am here to tell you to follow your dreams. My goodness! Oh my goodness! Okay, I got it. Sorry about that. Everyone, hands on your knees, eyes up here. Okay, Jimmy, I'm sorry. One sec. Let's see who claps the loudest. Come on, people.
All right, here we go.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Nobody saw that. You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I'm an inventor. Everyone say inventor.
Inventor.
Hands on your knees, quick. Would you like to see something I made?
Yes.
I made a machine that can make anything I want. I call it the future of 3D printing. Everyone say, ah! Look, nothing inside the box. Look, we're gonna make something appear. Everyone help me out. Everyone say, make something appear.
Make something up here.
Jimmy's gonna have to help us. So check it out. In this bag, these are the things that I love. Look what's inside. Do you wanna see? I love inflatable flamingos.
Yes.
I love giant foam fingers, okay? I love all kinds of weird things. Fuzzy dice. Put it in the back, quick.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Everyone, give it a little shake. Like this. Okay, good. Put your hand inside. Take one out. Just take one out, quick.
Okay, yes.
Take it out. Let me see. Oh, wait. We got a bunch out. Wait a second here. 1 second here. Okay, here, take the green one.
Yes.
Give 2 of these to the kids. Quick. Who's sitting nice and quiet? Okay, perfect. Who else got one? What do you got? All right. Shout them out loud.
All right, shout 'em
What
out.
do you have?
Tomato soup can.
A tomato soup can. Okay, here we go. Look, nothing inside. Everyone say, turn it on.
Turn it on.
I'm gonna turn the switch on. You can listen. Do you hear it? Listen, I'm gonna turn the switch on. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Listen, I think there's smoke inside. You see? Look at this. A tomato
Wow.
can.
That's
Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Okay, what else do you have? What is it? Banana. Listen, get the banana.
Banana.
All right, count to 5. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5.
Wait a second! Oh my goodness! Something is wrong! Did we get a banana? Oh no! What did you get, Jimmy?
I got
5
of diamonds.
5 of that. Okay, whatever you do, do not pull the string on the bottom here because if you pull that, we are in big trouble.
No.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe it! This is crazy!
You're pulling it.
I can't believe it! Oh my goodness! Okay, everybody wait! Crisscross applesauce, quick! Is there a 5 of diamonds? Jimmy, I think there's something stuck in the machine. Come here. Put your hand inside, see if you feel anything inside. See if you see anything in there. Anything in there? Pull it out.
Yes.
What is it? Take it out. What is that? What is it?
It's a can opener.
What?
It's a can opener.
Can
For the
opener.
tomato soup.
Wait, what?
Maybe for the tomato soup.
For the tomato soup? Oh my goodness! Everyone say open the can!
Open the can.
Wait a second! I think we did something here! Wait a second here! There is tomato soup! Maybe there's something inside. Let me see here. Wait a second here. Wait a second. Wait. Hold your hand out, Jimmy. Hold your hand out. Wait a second. Wait. Wait a second. Oh, banana! Oh, my
Banana! It's a banana!
Hold your hands like this. Wait a second. Guys, there's one more card. What was it?
Five of diamonds.
What was it?
Five of diamonds.
Everyone say 5 of diamonds. Crisscross applesauce, quick. Hands on your knees. Wait a second here. There's no 5 of diamonds. There's only one thing to do. Wait a second here. Wait a second here. There's a card
Gosh.
inside, Jimmy. Take a look. Open it up. I don't know. 5 of diamonds. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Come on.
That's fantastic! That is fantastic! Mario, the Maker Magician! That's how you do it right there! For tickets to his upcoming tour in the US and Australia, go to MarioTheMagician.com.
Welcome to another episode of Something Up My Sleeve. Wow. Okay, apparently I have to do a better introduction than Jimmy Fallon. It can happen. I can do it. I love the energy. I love the energy that Mario brought and the fact that he turned Jimmy into a 4-year-old. That's amazing. I mean, I guess he always kind of acts like a 4-year-old anyway. You've seen what we're working with. So excited to have this guy on the show. I first saw him at the IBM convention 2 years ago and was blown away. To say magician, I think, would really limit the scope of his performance. He's so much more than that and has a unique style and unique abilities and something that you don't see in just every show. What he brings to the table is absolutely incredible, and the mechanical knowledge that he has and that it's working with is something that I think we all are inspired by. But in addition to that, we're lucky because we got a twofer. We got a 2-for-1 special because it's great to have talent, but it doesn't matter if nobody ever sees it. And we know that that has a lot to do with your exposure, your marketing. And we have Mario's manager here with us, who basically took his show and brought it to Broadway in New York with a 34-show season run. And that basically culminated the guest spot on The Tonight Show, in addition to taking the show all the way to London and many other amazing venues. You go to their social media, you'll be blown away by how busy they are and what outstanding theaters they've been able to work with this incredible show. So we also have Katie Marchese. I knew I was going to mess it up. Marchese. The way it's written is so misleading. I even wrote it down phonetically. Let me try that again. Katie Marchese. I'm sure they're used to it, but as Mario said, he barely uses his last name anyway because everybody thinks it's Maker. Please welcome to the show, Mario the Maker and Katie Marchese.
Hello.
Yes. What's up, Michael?
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for having us.
Thank you.
I knew psychologically. I knew I stumped myself already, but I was like, I'm gonna mess it up. Let me write it down. I'm gonna mess
I
it up.
love it. It's
Marchese.
a complicated
Yeah,
spelling.
yeah, it's a complicated. Yeah.
So that's why you got rid of it. You decided to call yourself the Maker. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it is like after so many years.
Yeah,
of having
I mean,
it
I'm so proud of my
mispronounced,
name. You know, Marchese. You know, it's a beautiful name, but it's hard for pronunciation for sure. Yeah.
Oh, I totally understand. Mine's French. Nobody ever gets that right. According to my Canadian friend Eric Leclerc, I don't get it right. He says he thinks I don't know how to say my own last name, and I'm like, it's not that. It's that no, I have to say it in a way that other people like from Texas can understand.
Oh,
They'll get
totally.
it. Yeah. So
Exactly.
We'll say the Maker and the Maker's wife. Sounds like a nursery rhyme.
Exactly.
Perfect. Welcome, and I'm so glad you guys could be here. I am super excited. Let me tell you really quickly about when I met Mario and first saw the performance was at the IBM convention 2 years ago or 2 conventions ago. I believe it was 2, which was Atlanta. Is that
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
in Atlanta? And I remember sitting there thinking, because I had never seen you, and I remember thinking probably like 50% of the room, oh great, I'm gonna have to sit through a kid's show. Which is, I'm sure most of the guys were thinking, and then right away, just blown away from the start. And basically, you put us all into that mindset that where you want to be when you're watching any magic, which is the mindset of a 4-year-old. You want to be in that land of wonder, that sense of wonder. And I would venture to say that even though you're known as a kids show magician, that most adults are probably even more impressed and entertained than the children, especially because the kids aren't thinking about the process. They're not never contemplating what goes into this and what was involved in structuring this type of act, whereas the grown-ups are looking at each other going like, how the heck does he come up with this stuff, and how the heck does he make this stuff? So my first question to you is my first question when I have this talk show, and that is, what is something up your sleeve?
What is up my sleeve? Actually, if I stretch my sleeve out, I because I'm Mario the Maker, I'm obviously gonna stretch my sleeve out and like get a robot. This is this is the ending of my show. This is Marcel the robot monkey. And Marcel, can you beat your chest like a monkey? There he goes. See that? There he goes. Marcel, look at me, Marcel. Marcel, wave to all the people all out there, all over the world, Facebook Live right now. We are so happy to be here. I am so excited to talk to you, Michael. So this is just a little sample of the chaos. I'll put the camera up close, which symbolizes my life. You can see all the wires. I spend more time fixing my robots than performing. No, I'm joking, but it's pretty close. But yeah, this is like a good example of like what the show is about. It's all about homemade robotics. It's all about introducing kids to accessibility, that everything they look at is not something that's polished and clean. It's a process they're looking at. They're looking at the middle of the journey, not the destination, And I think that's why everything always looks like it's not finished yet. And it's something that I hold very dear in my life as a father, with my family, as my passions, but also a reflection of the show itself, is the idea of inspiring kids to be makers,
That's beautiful. Absolutely. And what came first, the magic or the making?
I would say the making came first. I didn't get into magic till I was 22 years old. The first time I saw a magic trick performed up close, I was 21 and a half. I always loved making. I carved wood as a teenager. I loved drawing and I loved the arts, but listen, Michael, you're like me. So you get the bug and you can't stop thinking about magic. The first time you get fried, first time you get fooled, it's a life-changing experience, especially when you see it done right. When you see it done right, where it's like this perfect just storm, right? And that's what happened to me. I got really lucky. I walked into a brick and mortar magic shop in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Shout out to Jim and Michelle Parks. I love you. If you happen to be watching, you changed my life. I love you guys. They took the time and taught me all the classics, Stratosphere, Hippity Hop Rabbits. And that's kind of like, and then, that's how it started. And then the ball just started rolling,
And cut to 18 years ago. Katie, was that one of your first experiences with magic when you met Mario, or did you have experience? Had you watched magicians before? Did you say to yourself, I really would like to date a magician?
Does anyone ever say
no? No one's ever said that.
No, I mean, the honest truth was no. I had okay, actually, funny story.
Oh no!
And I didn't realize this until years later. But my high school, Naperville North High School in Naperville, Illinois, there's a few magicians who will recognize that high school. Steve Chesedey went to that high school. Greg Mulvey went to that high school. Greg, I saw him perform this beautiful illusion show at the Naperville North High School talent show one year. And it stuck with me. He did such a great job. It was beautifully done. I didn't know who Greg was. He was a couple years older than me, but I always remembered that performance. And I didn't connect until years later when we were at a dinner with Greg that was him, but so it was in there somewhere. I always appreciated the art, but no, never thought I would have anything to do with it.
I didn't tell her that I did magic for the first 3 months that we were dating. So
wow.
She did.
It was like a side note.
But
were you holding your cards close to your chest? Were you waiting to show off your superpower and so you'd be even cooler? Or were you nervous of you didn't want her to know?
No, it was just I don't know. It was just so because I was doing kids stuff, kids show stuff. And I was still so early on, trying to find myself. And I was I don't, you know, it's a very tricky thing in the magic community because kids magic is looked at something as a stepping stone, something that it's almost like you're ashamed of or embarrassed sometimes of. Like
Sure.
you don't really look at it like as this high quality thing sometimes. And I fell into that trap early on, you know, getting into magic. And now that I think about it, that's part of the reason why the first couple of months I didn't even, you know, show it. It was an accident. I was doing a kid's birthday party and she happened to be in the car and she came in and then she was like, "What? You do magic?" You know? And like here I am like flipping the rabbits, you know, back and forth doing the stratosphere, you know. And but it was
hop.
yeah, that's right. Like all those things. And but then, you know, from there
when I first saw him performing and with a group of kids, I was totally blown away because even in the early days when he wasn't creating his own stuff yet, he was performing classics, but he had those kids in the palm of his hand. And it was like clear as an outsider of that world that this was his calling. So I kind of like, I'm like, why were you hiding this from me?
It was a weird time because I wanted to be so much like, you know, like I wanted to be so much like David Blaine, like so much like all my heroes early on that like the idea of like being in like a cafeteria or a gym doing a kid's birthday on a Saturday morning, like was so the opposite. And so like, there was definitely like a lot of surrender I had to mature in, you know, like you know how they say the audience creates the performer, like no matter how you twist it, the audience is going to tell you what your strengths and weaknesses are, you know? And so like, I used to go to open mics in Times Square, in New York, and do these all adult audiences. And it sucked. Like I was terrible, man. Like I couldn't like land anything. I was so nervous. And then for some reason, when it was a family audience, it just was a different type of energy. Like I felt free on stage, you know, like having the parents and kids kind of grouped together, you know?
Hang on a second because my ADD brain kicked in and I need to process what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm trying to picture David Blaine doing a kid's show and how that would go. I see it as like this, where you go like, "You want to see a rabbit?"
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, it's wild, you know, like it's just wild. Like, you know, just to think about it now that we're talking about it, it's been such a long road, you know, like it's just, it took about 2 years of just kind of fighting like what I thought I should be rather than what I am supposed to be, you know? And so it was definitely a wild
finding your voice.
Yeah, exactly.
And she could have told you that. And that's what, see, I tell magicians all the time, like challenge yourself when you meet someone to see how long you can keep a conversation going before you do a magic trick. Because if they already think you're a cool guy and you haven't even like shown that side of you, then you're just going to be mega cool. Whereas most magicians we know are not very self-aware, and they think that every time they walk in a room, they got to be the coolest person. Immediately go like, "Hey, want to see a card trick?" Like when people, "What's wrong with this clown?" You know. I'm
true.
reminded of, in picturing your relationship, I'm reminded of. Did you ever watch Parks and Recreation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how Andy wants to be a rock star, and then he takes this gig to play guitar for this kid's birthday party, and April has never found him more sexy than when she sees how he's working with these kids and getting along with these kids. And if more guys knew the effect that had, as opposed to trying to be David Blaine and trying to like wow somebody and float something in front of their face, I think more people would pursue it, you know, and realize like they have a gift there, they have something to work with.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a powerful effect. But on that note, do you ever, because like I said before, I was so blown away, and I know that other adults watching are not seeing anything they expect to see. Do you get booked at times just for adults? Are you ever doing any type of like corporate events or anything like that? And do you do a similar type show, or what do you?
Yeah.
That's a hard no. No. I mean, and I think it's something that we've learned. I think he could do those things, but early on in our career, like one of the best decisions we made was turning down everything that was on the periphery of what we really wanted to be doing. It's like you have to kind of focus in so you could be the best version of what you can be. And then maybe later on, if you want to let other things in on the side, you can. But for Mario, it was never his passion. Like performing for all adults just wasn't his thing. It doesn't excite him.
Well, it was
way.
just like, it was my passion, but I just wasn't good at it, you know? Like as hard as I tried, like I just was, my nerves would get to me in the wrong way, you know? And if you notice, even with the Fallon flick, like my energy derives on things falling apart and the chaos. And that's part of my personality. It's an exaggerated version of what I really am. And once I tapped into that, like what my fears are, how do I take what I'm scared of and then put it into my show where it's actually funny or it's actually magical? That's when stuff changed in my life, was that, because the idea is like, how do we become like as free as we possibly can in existence on stage, you know? And whatever little hurdles there are that are stopping you, let's get to those details and let's separate them. And that's what I'm doing now that we're back from London. There's moments in my show where I hesitate. And I'm looking at my history, you know, my notes, and I'm hesitating because there are certain moments where a certain slight or a certain gimmick only works 95% of the time instead of 100. And because of that hesitation, I lose 30 seconds before that happens in my confidence and in my patter. And even my gestures are different because I'm hesitating for this moment that I'm not sure exactly if it's going to work. And I'm trying to eliminate all that in my show. Like I want it to be seamless, you know? And so it's always doing that. And you know how it is, Michael, you're a performer too. Like you're trying to sharpen, take the fat out as much as you can and get to the good parts, you know? And Katie's been the biggest advocate of that from the beginning, even when she first saw me do kid shows, always pushing me in the direction of my best version of myself, you know, and I'm always fighting you. and then you're always right. And, you know, and like, because even, you know, with all this stuff, even like the off-Broadway thing too, like it was a big risk. It was a big risk to do an off-Broadway show, like a magic show for kids, you know, and Katie really took the reins. Like she's responsible for doing that while I was trying to be safe. She was taking the risk, you know.
Katie, at what point did you start that? Do you come along and say, look, I need to manage you. I think I know how to bring you to the next level.
No, it started slow. Like for us, very early on in our relationship, we started working together. Like I was not doing anything in my life that was super important to me. I was just working like administrative jobs in the city. So for me to leave those jobs, it was not a difficult decision. But then I just really believed in what he was doing. And I felt like the world needed to see it. I didn't have a background in this world in entertainment management or producing, but I had a very strong passion to learn because I believed in his talent. So it started with literally me just booking him for birthdays and communions and all this stuff that comes in the private sector world with the kids' magic. And then slowly honing our goals of what we wanted as a family to do with our lives and figuring out how to marry those dreams and take the show to bigger stages and tours and stuff like that. And it was literally just learning the hard way out of necessity every step of the way. But we're a good pair.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
and I always call Katie,
other.
Katie's always my co-adventurer, you know, like we're both each other's co-adventurer, you know, like that's what we do. We try to like get what makes us strong and try to both put it in together in this pot and just kind of, and then the idea is like, you want to be happy. Like, you know, I'm looking at my life now. It's like, I don't want to be that magician 10 years from now where all the jokes go over the kids' heads because I'm pissed off or because I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, what can I do in my life now planning for this year that we're just getting our daily bread or just that we're constantly getting those breadcrumbs that we're chasing after something to bring us that joy so we can spread that on stage, you know? So that's been always the challenge, you know?
Well, and a major challenge is having a family. How old are your children now?
Now they are 9 and 12, almost 10 and 13. So they've grown up in this, you know, like we started touring when our son was 2 and our daughter was 5. And that's when we pulled our daughter out of public school and we started road schooling, homeschooling them, and just haven't looked back since. So they've definitely, like, they are a part of every decision we make. Our life every year changes. Our business decisions change based on their needs and their desires. So it's like when you're in it as a family, it's not just the business and what's best for the business. It's what's best for all of us.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
And like Katie brings up a good point because we've been getting opportunities for longer residencies that could last for 3 months, you know, but our kids are not, they don't want to be away for 3 months from their friends, you know? So like we have to literally, we're taking opportunities away so that we're home as much as possible, because there's these core friends here that like, they want to be around. And like when everyone's happy, the show succeeds more too, you know? And it goes back to that point Katie was saying early on, where we made that decision to not take every gig possible and to focus. And it was hard to say no, because we were paying rent. We had roommates. It was hard to say no. But like, it was this gradual thing of 2 years where like, finally we're getting recognized for this very specific thing that we do, you know? And from that, we were able to evolve, and I was able to create more of the robotics and like be sensitive to the audience angle. Like what makes me different and how do and it's still a challenge. Like we're even this coming year, we're still trying to hone in and keep relevant, you know?
No, I mean, the big thing is like, I think a lot of us do something like this for a living because in some sense we want the freedom that being an entrepreneur, self-employed person brings, but you can very easily become like trapped in a system that you then create, you know, and we could very easily fall into something where we're no longer free at all because the gigs are determining everything for us. And so we've had to really take a step back, and like learning how to say no to stuff is hard. And sometimes the glitz and the glamour of a prospective opportunity is really hard to turn down, but we have to take, you know, I think our kids keep us centered in that sense. And like, we really, like we take everything, look at it and say, is this going to be good for all of us? And that is when we can move forward, you know?
Yeah, it's a tricky thing, man. It's a tricky thing.
But it's good. It's good for us. Like, it's good. It keeps us grounded.
We're learning, dude. Every year. You know how it is. I don't know if you have kids, Michael, but you know, every year.
I have cats. Does that count? I have.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, man.
I have. There's more where this came from. Somehow I keep accumulating more and more.
What a cutie.
This is one of the newest ones, Amber Jewel.
Amber Jewel.
You know, most parents don't appreciate that when I'm like, well, it's kind of like having kids.
No, fur babies are babies too.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah,
that's right. 100%. 100%.
Now, and they all have different personalities.
That's right.
One of the fur babies, she's learning a few tricks, but I've been teaching my other Fitz Toulouse. He's been learning. He can pick a card now. He learns how to pick a card. She's learned. She's does the high five. She rides a skateboard.
Oh my gosh!
Teaching her to jump through the hoop. How are your kids responsive to performance? Do they have that in their personality? If they might end up being performers, or are they kind of like, Dad, not another card trick, or you know, like what's that attitude?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, our daughter is an absolute maker, just like her dad, but not in the performance realm. She really likes to physically create her art. So she makes these beautiful crocheted projects. She just made her first full sweater.
She made a whole sweater. That's what she did in London. It's like a whole cardigan. Like, I should go get it. Go get it. It's really cool.
Yeah, go get it. But
I'll go get it.
Our son, who's our 9-year-old, I could definitely see him taking over the show one day. Wow. I don't know if he'll want to, but he has that performance blood. He knows every line in the show. He likes, he loves to learn dancing and stuff like that. But what time will tell. We're not going to push them in that direction unless it's something they really want, obviously, But I think Mario's going to bring the sweater that Gigi made, which was like, here he comes. This was her big 2-month London project.
Let's see if we can get a good view here. Check this out.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's incredible. Look at that.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. I mean, just look, even like the stitching going down, like everything, the collar.
That is not what I pictured. When you
it's crazy.
And now I'm jealous, and I shouldn't even want to wear that because it's so freaking hot in New Orleans right now. But man, maybe she's gonna. You have to like make a little Etsy account because I would order one. Like now I want one. That's amazing.
Yeah, she's at Maker Gigi on Instagram. If you guys want to give a follow, she makes so many toys, crochet toys. Oh, thanks. Yeah, so yeah, it's interesting how they, what they see and how they react to it. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like even it's a pretty wild thing. And Bear, I don't know if you said anything about Bear, but we went because we were in London. We got to see so many West End shows because they're so affordable. There's day of tickets you can get for 20, 30 pounds. And Bear we watched MJ, And then for 2 weeks, Bear put a timer on his iPad and practiced the moonwalk. And then he nailed it at my brother's wedding last week.
Oh,
It was
wow.
insane, you know?
Yeah.
So like, I love seeing, because that's how it is in my show. It's like, we're trying to teach kids that it's okay to fail, you know? And the only way to get better is by repeating a process and making small changes, you know, baby stepping. And so it was cool watching Bear do that and rock it. And,
His name is Bear.
yeah, like the animal. Yeah. His name is Bear.
One of my cats is named Bear.
No way.
Yeah, Javi Bear. His name's
Bear's
Javi
got
Bear.
to meet Bear. You got to chill with Bear,
He's,
okay?
he's
Bear.
a Maine Coon. He looks like a bear. He's like, he's looks like a big bear. And
So
he
cool.
doesn't want to do tricks. He's like he's totally different personality. So while the other ones are high fiving, he just grabs my arm. Like he grabs when I'm giving the treat, he grabs. So I just pretend like he's doing a trick. I go, okay, bear claw, and he's gonna do it anyway, right? So he's just like grabbing at me, but it's almost
that's
scary because he's
cute.
he looks like a tiny little bear. It's amazing.
So what are all the names of the cats? I need to know.
So we have Javi Bear was the first, the
Javi
black
Bear.
Maine Coon, Fitz Toulouse, then Annika, which is kind of named after Seven of Nine from Star Trek Voyager.
Oh,
Nice.
And then Ember Jewel, who I just held up a second ago.
Yeah.
Ember, I named her Jewel because I started volunteering at a shelter. She came in. I was the first like human she saw when she was rescued, and so I got to name her. So first named her Jewel, and then you saw she's a tortie. And when the sun hits those orange spots, my wife said, you know, she really looks like embers of a flame. What about Ember Jewel?
Wow,
And I
he's
love that.
beautiful. Yeah.
And then we decided to foster a tiny little guy named Oliver, and it's going to be a foster fail because he's fit right in. He's perfect, and he's just been amazing. So
I love
I've been
it.
saying I have 4.5. Basically,
Yeah.
is,
I love that you did that.
So
That's
cute.
really freaking cool, Michael.
yeah. We love cats. Well, I love cats so much more than humans. You know,
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
I'm sure being from New
I
York,
get
you can
it.
totally appreciate
I
that.
get it.
And speaking about where you're from, there's a joke I gotta tell you. So all of a sudden I was like, wait, why do I know Naperville? Well, when I was at the Chicago Magic Lounge, everywhere I go, I do these bits and I just ask somebody local like 3 questions because I
Yeah.
know that, like, for instance, if you just throw in a sports team that they all love, like, you're gonna win them over. You're a hero now because they're like, you know about the Bears, and so I like, who do you pick on? Like if I'm in New Orleans and I go like, we're just waiting for some people from the West Bank to catch up, you know, everybody, it's gonna get a laugh. But I'm like, what would you do in Chicago? And they said Naperville. And I know nothing about Naperville. I've never been there, but let me tell you, that works. It got every time it gets the best laugh.
It's a
huge laugh.
ridiculous place. It's a ridiculous place. I mean, I moved away from there when I was 16 and moved to New York to the high school where Mario went to. So that's how we met. But looking back and revisiting it now and how much has changed, it's one of those places where there's like a Starbucks every block. It's so bougie and ridiculous. It's definitely, you can make fun of it. Totally fine with me.
I didn't even know why I was making fun of it. I just went with it and it worked.
It's a silly place, but we still love it. It's
100%.
cool.
100%.
Very cool. And I'm sure you're familiar with the lounge, which is one of my favorite places.
We love the
Absolutely.
Chicago.
I love
and
the
Ben
lounge. I
Barnes,
love the
yeah.
people who are in charge at the lounge.
Yeah.
I love how they take care of their magicians.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a great place.
It's a beautiful
I'm
place.
so jealous of that place because I would love to have something like that here, even halfway. Like, it wouldn't even have to be that fancy, just something like that. That's kind of my end goal of having something like that here, and then I could go, like, I could call you and go, hey, I need you to come perform in New Orleans for a week.
Totally.
Yeah.
That would be
They've
incredible.
done a stellar
They
job.
did.
over
Well,
there.
you know, it's the people in charge, man. You know, Ben Barnes is, my gosh, he's just gold. You know, he's such a great, you know, people like that really make places shine. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about your craftsmanship and the technology involved, because you're performing what is basically my biggest nightmare. I am one of those people that not that I'm afraid of technology, but I'm afraid of tech going wrong.
Yeah.
And the more tech heavy your show is, the more that can go wrong. And I remember in your lecture, that when you break down everything that has to happen and everything that's going on during your show, I'm like, it's mind blowing. I'm like, so much to think about and so many details. Was it always that tech heavy? And how do you overcome that fear of things going wrong, or are you just prepared for it to go into like improv moments when they do?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's my greatest magic trick is that I really play that card where everything looks like crap, you know? And then, but deep inside, everything is like meticulously soldered, you know, to the T, and everything is like glued in a way that I can easily take it apart and fix in 10 minutes before show, or, you know, so like, and if you think about even Automabot, the cardboard robot that we had that went viral during the pandemic that I love, I think that was the strength.
We have a clip. We have a video
nice.
clip. We have a video clip. Yes.
You'll see the robot, he's so wobbly, right? And he's so like shaky and made of cardboard that I literally programmed him to do sleight of hand based on the wobbles. Like I counted how many times it would wobble its left hand when it went down from, you know, from up here to here, and then did the sleight at the precise second, you know? Like that was like
Wow.
it was so beautiful. Like, cause during the pandemic, it was so hard.
I think that's called classic forcing a robot.
Yeah, exactly.
What you're doing there. Yeah.
So like, yeah, so it was really fun, like having a couple of those aha moments during the pandemic and making these videos, and it's the same with the show. Like stuff falls. Actually, wait a second. Let me grab my suitcase. Hold up.
And actually, while he's doing that, Katie, can you talk a little bit? I remember him. I was very fascinated with that story about how that little cardboard robot went viral.
Hold on a sec.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh,
But
wow.
let me see if I can lift this up so you can see, like,
Yay.
you know, like it's
oh my
complete
God.
chaos, Michael. Okay, complete
Whoa.
chaos. But everything, you know, looks well. Imagine me at the airport. Okay.
I'm gonna let's see. Can I? Nope, that's the wrong one. Wait, let me. Nope. Let's go.
Oh, you're
He's
trying to get this focused here. I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
move out
see.
of the way.
I
I don't know
see.
where this goes.
I think this goes inside there. So anyway, I was just saying, yeah, I mean, you could see all the wires. Like there's like 17 servo motors, like all glued and meticulously placed, you know, to one of my routines, you know, where the banners fall. I think you saw it on the Fallon clip, you know. But yeah, like for example, here, look, I'll show you. Like even these signs, you know, I was going to get them printed, but painting them on pizza box wood, you know, cardboard keeps it authentic. You know, it's like one of those details when you see it from stage, you can't deny that it's not homemade, you know? So I've always kept that, you know, aesthetic, and it's annoying. And I repaint this stuff every couple of weeks, but the goal is like always to stay true to the message of the show and stay true to myself, you know? But I just wanted to give you a visual just so you can see the chaos. As much as it does look chaotic, it does work most of the time.
Hold on, I think we lost audio here.
Oh yeah, here. Let me see.
All right, Michael, say something.
No, you're good. I can hear you. Oh,
Sorry, I hope that wasn't.
we can hear
I
you,
hope
we
that
can hear
wasn't
you.
too much. I was just trying to.
Oh, not at all. I
Yeah,
think most of the viewers would love to have a behind the scenes of like every single prop you use, how it works, what went into it. I would like to know a little bit more about the robot that went viral.
Yeah. So
I remember being inspired by that during your lecture.
Yeah, so that robot was called Automabot. He was a cardboard robot that I built that had two hands. You know, you'll probably show a couple of videos. But what was really beautiful was I took classics of magic, like the coin matrix, the blooming orange tree from Robert Houdin, like, and the chop cup, you know, like, or the ball to mouth, the sponge balls to mouth. You know, there's a video. That was the first one I did, was the balls to mouth. So what happened was I had the robot. He would make a ball appear, and then he would go like this and then dump the ball out, you know, and then drop it in a cup, and then it would repeat. But it was so cool because it was all sleight of hand. Like, you know, both the ball that was in his hand was classic palmed when it came up, and then the other ball in his mouth would get sucked back into the robot head. And it was just this symphony of motors that would just perform this one sleight. And I remember that first night I came up with it, I just stood there for like 3 minutes, just like looking at it work and fooling me, you know? And it was like so beautiful. Like it was just one of those few moments in life where like I just always think about like, how do you get to do that again? You know, like it was just a really fun time. And it must have been just a storm because of COVID too, and the desperation to be connecting with people. And I think that's what caused like the obsession of making a robot do magic with cardboard.
And to have a creative outlet during that time.
Yeah, it was definitely a heavy time.
So important.
Definitely a heavy time.
People like us need that creative outlet. I know some of my friends, I found different ways to continue having creative outlets during that time, whereas some of my friends, because I work with a lot of burlesque performers, and they were going stir crazy. And I just kind of ventured out to work on one of the, which I talk about how afraid I am of tech, and I picked one of the most tech heavy hobbies you could possibly get involved with, which is virtual reality. And started really heavy into that, which is crazy because like I'm so not tech savvy, but you just figure it out if you have a love for it.
Yeah, that's right.
But that also provided a creative outlet, and so I wasn't going, and then got cats, so that always helps with happiness, I guess, as well. Yeah,
that's right. But those little things make everything. Here, grab that, Kate, if you want the metal part. Just by the metal part. This is what I'm working on now. I made my own like clatter box. Like the old fall apart box. Like put something in it. So it's all 3D printed, all aluminum, and then when the kid grabs it, it'll all like explode. But I don't even know where it's gonna go on my show. Like I just built it because I just got obsessed with this classic of magic, like I was looking at old videos, and so it's fun to challenge, like I try to challenge myself, and then somehow, some way, organically, these things that I've made somehow make it into something, that's important, but right now it's just kind of resting,
Well, that was going to be my next question. What comes first, like the prop or the story? Do you think of an idea and go like, okay, now I'm going to figure out how to make some things that are going to go with that? Or in this case, it seemed like maybe the idea for the prop came first, and now you're going to figure out what the story is behind it or how it fits within a story.
Yeah, I would say for me, like looking at my history, I think the prop is always first, like even with my little robot lamp or the banners that fell, I always credit the great Kaplan for giving me that first inspiration. I saw a YouTube clip from the Magic Castle with his little explosion and the banner comes out, it says great Kaplan, and then it falls, like it sides on the side a little bit. I screamed when I saw that. I was like, that's a kid's routine. That is a kid's routine. There will be kids screaming to fix that sign. Yeah. And that inspired me in this whole explosion of adding multiple banners and flags and side banners that fall. And now it's become a key component of my show. And it was so cool. Like I got to perform at the Magic Castle, and David Kaplan was there, and he was doing the bigger room. And I was so scared to show him my routine, and he sat and he watched it. And let me tell you, he taught me one of the biggest lessons in life. Like, instead of pointing the finger, he like practically almost hugged me. He was like, it's so beautiful, and he said, come with me. Let me show you the inside of my case. And it was one of the greatest days I've ever had in my career. Like, I got to see the hand painted cases. I got to see all his mechanical contraptions and the way he thinks. And it's a mantra I hold true even to this day when I'm encountering younger magicians than me that are trying to build stuff and all that. Like, I always try to listen first before I speak and just understand. A lot of people just get inspired. They get excited. And I know it's a fine line in the magic community because, but it's always something I think about, especially because we're in the kids world too. And like, we just try to be open source with everything we do.
No, it feels like magic in a lot of ways is a collaborative art form. Like, we all work together to create new opportunities for each other, and like, you never want to just bite off someone's routine.
No, in no way, boy. That's right.
But you're inspired by each other. And that's why Mario with the robotic stuff, like, he's published books about it. He's really tries his best to like, this is something that I've found that works really well for me. Maybe you can find a way to use it for you. Don't copy my routine.
Right.
But use this tool that I've found that works so beautifully and adapt it to what works for you.
And Katie brings up a great point. Like, it really is about like snippets in life, like little snippets that inspire you. Like I watched a video of a robotic lamp that turned its switch back on, and it was some college thesis or something that someone did. And I exploded. I was like, what? This is a kid's routine. The switch turns on, the lamp turns itself back on. And it was not a magic trick that I saw. It was just a robotics guy that built this. And I took that little snippet, you know, and I tried to make it into a routine, you know. But it's a fine line because it's our life, right, Michael? And you have your signature stuff, and like, you know, so I understand both sides too. You know, it's like we try to protect, and then we also try to inspire, you know.
Well, you know, and some of my signature stuff has been suspicious to others. And one of my questions is, having seen the inside of your case, I sort of expected that you wouldn't be able to make it to this podcast because you'd be currently detained by airport security. Like, how are you not detained right now by TSA?
Oh, Michael, man,
question.
I could write a lecture like
I
of how to
bet.
get through airport security. We've had every single
Oh
thing
my
you could
gosh.
imagine. Like at LaGuardia Airport in NYC, like I've had the bomb squad called. I've had every freaking light flicker, every sound imaginable. Like I've learned every lesson. Like the big takeaway for anyone watching and is concerned about any tech stuff you have, get those lithium batteries out from the stuff and put them in a little Ziploc bag, tape the ends up, stick them on your carry-on, and check everything in.
Hey, hold on, they're lithium.
I don't even care if they're regular batteries. I take them all out. You know, I just don't want any power in there. And ever since we made that change, that's helped a lot. But you know, you learn, you know, like I've gotten burned pretty bad, you know, like, you know, with security stuff, but it's a funny, I won't get into it, but it's a funny thing. But we all faced, I heard some stories recently too with other magicians.
Bricks of playing cards are also very
Yeah,
suspicious
that's right.
looking, apparently.
Yes.
That's right.
If you have, it's better to spread your
Yeah.
cards out. If you got them in a stack, they don't like that at all.
No.
Not
So
one
funny,
bit.
right?
Yeah. And you know, slush powder can get you into trouble.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean,
I didn't even think of that. It's
magicians
true.
are very suspicious in many, many ways. So
It's true.
Well, my advice to the common traveler is that if you have something suspicious you're worried about, just get in line behind a magician, and nobody's
That's a
going to
good
care
idea.
what you're doing because
It's
they're worried
true.
about this guy and what the
That's
weird
right.
stuff is. What's in
That's
his
right.
bag? Jeez, like, what is this for? Well, I can't tell you.
right.
What is this for? Oh, yeah, incredible. I figure you could probably spend an hour just on
Oh,
airport
100%.
security.
100%.
Love that. I want to make sure that we talk a little bit about the other side of the coin here, which is probably even more beneficial to everyone than learning about how to craft or how to perform, which is how to market. And you have a workshop coming up, Katie, that sounds incredible. In fact, when I say coming up, we have 5 days?
yeah, it's this
to get
Sunday.
involved? This Sunday at 7 p.m., August 25th, is going to be your workshop. And what is the title?
I didn't really name it. I mean, this is something
The
that I
Katie
do.
Workshop.
Yeah, this is something that I do like once a year. It's really kind of just my way. Like the magic community has been very good to us, you know, and there have been especially key figures in the movement that have kind of lifted us up when we didn't know what we were doing. So this is my way of like giving back. Just people have always a lot of questions about how we got from like the private party sector into touring, into theaters, and
On
into
the
that
Tonight
whole other,
Show.
yeah, all that stuff. Like what's, you know, the trajectory of how to do that. And it's something that we kind of figured out our own path of doing. So this workshop is really my way of teaching people how to figure out their path towards those things as well, or towards whatever dreams they have in the magic world. So we cover a lot in like 2 to 3 hours. It's a super intensive workshop. But basically the last hour is all questions. So it's very interactive and we always have a lot of fun. But
Yeah, I mean, like the truth is, like, if you're serious about your magic, you're serious about your show, it's like, hey, we're alive right now. We have 2 kids, or 10, 12, and 9. We're in it, like, deep. Like, this is our whole life. I'm sitting in a house that, like, I'm, you know, like, we pay our bills in, like, our car. Like, Katie is, like, she's, like, the reason we're doing this, you know, like, is everything and all the risks that she's taken over the years. And even just to produce an off-Broadway show, I mean, that's insane, you know, like, and so it's like, if you guys, you know, if that's something that interests you guys, like, in any way, like, we're not in it to like be one of those people that we're like, this is all we do is try to like coach magicians. It's more of like, hey, we're along this journey. Like, we're taking a break here before we start our next thing. if you want to just see everything that we're doing, like this is what we're doing, this is how we did it. And it coincides with the whole message of the show itself, like the whole open source spirit. Like I'm a big believer in that, you know, like I'm just a big believer in that. Like information is the secret to happiness, like learning and knowledge. And like, if there's something you learned along the way that can help someone else, then do it, you know?
Yeah.
And
I mean, and on the flip side, like, yeah, it's like the anti-gatekeeper mentality, basically, because that's another thing. It's like we all have those people who we went humbly to and asked questions and they look down on us. Like we all have those stories of people who didn't want to share the information that they learned. And I think when you encounter that, it only comes from insecurity on that person's part. We never want to fall into that. Like, and I guess our main message is we figured out how to take a birthday kid performer and get them to all these amazing places. If we can figure out how to do that, you can too, you know? So we just want to share that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And just looking at the highlights, it sounds so beneficial to anybody who wants to take themselves seriously as a performing business. Just to read through a couple of them. The benefits and pitfalls of four-walling, prepping your show's marketing materials, getting tickets sold through social media. Those are baffling subject matter that you either know because somebody has done it and can tell you what the process is, or you're going to spend years figuring this stuff out on your own.
Yeah.
We're going to put the link in chat, but the website's very easy to get to because it's mariothemagician.com/Katie.
Yes.
So you just remember who my guests are, and you can find them, but you need to do that quickly because the space is limited, and it's going to be an intensive Zoom call, and that is this Sunday, August 25th at 7 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
To point out 7 p.m. Eastern, which is different for Naperville. So
I should never have mentioned that.
Well played, Michael. Well played. We need these callbacks for the rest of the segment.
I love callbacks. Callbacks is my favorite. Actually, I'm hoping I have enough time to edit. I'm not going to spoil it now, but I got a great little clip I'm going to throw in when you're talking about the airport stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna tell you. So now you're gonna have to watch it.
All right, I'm excited.
I got a great one I'm gonna throw in there. I gotta find it, but I'm excited. It's gonna be hilarious. That's so good. So let's talk about what's coming. What's next for your show? You've done so many big things recently, and one thing has led to the next. So next step, you're going back to Europe.
So next steps, we just came back from London. We did our first ever off West End run there, which was really, really phenomenal. We were lucky we got to work with the team that produced our Edinburgh Fringe run. So we were very familiar with them and they were familiar with us, and it was great. So the next up is we probably return to New York City, do another run there because it was a real highlight for us and has the benefit of being close to home. So our kids love it when we do New York. Yeah. We'll do that. We definitely want to return to London. Also big plans for Australia. We did Adelaide Fringe last year, wow. And it was a really great experience for us. We work with an awesome team there, and so they're setting up a tour, which we will announce at some point soon. But yeah, a lot of things that we can't bring up yet too. So we're excited for the things that to come. Yeah.
Now, how was it in London with the whole language barrier?
So difficult.
No, but really, did anybody have trouble understanding your New York style?
Oh man, London was wild. Like it was really great. Like I just didn't realize like how reserved like the kids are. They're so different than New York City, you know. And so like a big part of my show.
What do you mean, like they're polite?
Yeah, like
well behaved,
and like wow. And like I can feel the tension from the parents, like making sure their kids are like ready to see the show, and then here I come, just a blast of energy, like trying to get these kids to rip apart things, and I'm climbing.
They're
up
all
chairs
spilling their tea.
Yeah, and like, but it was so beautiful to like break these barriers, you know, and really connect from my heart too, like why we do what we do, like. You know, the big heart of my show is my thank you to Miss Ranello, my humanities teacher back in 11th grade, you know, like, and the idea of like how she taught me to do what I love, like, and teach me about the importance of the arts and how they're not just this small thing in life, but it's the very thing in life that keeps us excited, you know? And so it was fun bringing that like homespun message to different country. We did 36 shows there, and it was wild. It was, I got to be, I don't know, like just the magicians there were so kind to us. Like a big shout out to Chris Cox. He's the co-producer of the show. Like people like him that really believe in what we do and just worked so hard to fill seats and bring families in, and so many people, you know, there's a lot of people to thank there. I have a list, but it just, that's what makes it fun, is just realizing all the good people in the world, you know, and when you're trying to do something and having them help just means a lot. So it was cool. It was cool.
Really great.
Yeah. London was fun.
And it's interesting to see that the audiences were different and the kids behave differently. And one of my questions was for you was going to be, how do you handle when most children's performers are trying to fight the chaos? Because when the kids are going crazy and out of control, you're like trying to maintain control and like, no, sit down. No, don't touch that. And where you're going like, no, stand up, touch it. And so,
well, that's a
like,
really well said statement.
Yeah.
Like that was a great snippet, you know, because you really tapped into what I've built for 17 years is like, how do I ride that line of chaos? You know, stand up, no, rip this, you know, like instead of the opposite. Yeah, it was a wild thing in London, you know, like it was, you know, and it's a fine line, you know, like it's always a fine line. And that's what keeps me excited in my show, is just that little ounce of like, is it going to work? Am I going too far, or is it not enough? Like we squirt a lot of water in our show.
In reality, it's like, you know, kids are smart.
Yeah.
And I think like once Mario lets them in on this secret very early on in the show that, hey, we're playing a game together and you're allowed to do these certain things with me because this is a big fun game that we're all doing together. And once they get a glimmer of that, like, oh, we can do that, they're gonna eat it up, and they don't want to ruin the game, you know. So they're not gonna take it too far. They're really like,
yeah. And if they do, which it
instructions.
happens, you know, like we have ushers on the side, you know, we have like, you know,
But that's usually
I'm
like
joking.
No, but
like,
that's usually like toddlers who are getting antsy. That's a different
No,
thing,
it's
you
true.
know?
And like, and the truth is, like, I was gonna be an elementary school teacher. I mean, that's what I was going to college for, you know. And so like I did 2 years of working with kids with special needs, and you know, and I was a one-on-one care worker, you know. So like this is like that's where the energy comes from. That's where like the lessons that are in the show to create the boundaries so we can have fun comes from, you know, for sure.
Well, I guess now that I think about it, you could easily build your own robot bouncer to like giant cardboard robot.
Yes.
That I'm like,
No.
sit
No,
down.
what we really need Mario to make is a robotic confetti cleaner. That would be my request. And that would be the request of all of the front of house teams and all of the theaters that we work with.
They have those. It's called a Roomba.
Roomba.
Yeah.
I know.
And what I really need to
enough.
do is I need to build a robot that does a card trick with a cat. That's what I need to do. Yes, so we can collaborate, okay?
Oh,
we can collaborate. You bring the cat, I bring the robot. We do some magic.
You've opened up a door. I'm gonna be sending you cat videos.
Cat videos, yes.
Yeah, because I want you to see this stuff. And it's so funny because you know I try to put out. For years I put out my own content. You know, I've been involved in entertainment forever. I'm into everything, and nothing has so quickly become so popular as videos of my cats.
Oh,
and, but I'm totally. It's like that kind of thing reminds me that as long as I have a creative outlet, it doesn't have to be all about me or my face, or because I am just as happy being behind the camera, talking and you know being entertaining, but just as they're watching my little fur babies, and that is just as fun to me as being on stage.
That's right.
And you know it's so wild when you start realizing like it's really about the creative process. You know.
Yeah.
Not about.
It's a beautiful thing, right? Isn't it a beautiful thing? It's like you get trapped in your mind that you think this is the only way that your happiness will be contained. But the truth is, as long as we keep pushing forward creatively, that's why Henri Matisse is my favorite painter, you know, because early on he introduced color and form in a way that never existed. And then when he got older, he couldn't paint anymore. So he started using scissors and cutting out shapes from colored paper. You know, like he kept evolving as he got older. So the performance was always, you know, was always strong. Like even in his 80s, you know, like I love the idea that the tools change, but the art doesn't, you know, and it's something that gives me hope as we get older. You know?
It's like Post Malone playing country music.
Yes, Michael. I'll see you next week. We need to do this weekly. I love this.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and okay, and I promised you a trick. So I always, as you know, I always ask my guests, is there a trick you want to do? And because I'm doing the show all the time, I'm not, unless it's a gag or whatever, I'm not usually trying to do anything. But then I realized I was like, I'm not the inventive mind. I think I'm good at routining, and taking different effects and stringing them together into a routine and creating that story. But it blew me away to when I saw your act and what went into it, and the fact that you can create and build these things. And so when I find the littlest thing that I've invented, I get really proud of it. So I'm going to show you. And I just happened to like find something on my way to the 4F convention, and had no idea. And really impressed a lot of magicians with this silly little thing. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay. So, people are always asking me, like, you go to these conventions and you interview all these magicians. Well, how do you measure up? And I go like this.
Yes. That's how we do it.
and then there's a follow-up. I'm going to show you the follow-up. And then I'm going to show you how I do it, because then you'll understand like how this evolved and why I had to have this. So let me see. I got to back away from the camera here, but here's the follow up. It's a almost knocked my headset off. It's a vanish like. Oh wait, I messed it up. Hold on. Like it looks like this.
Nice, Michael. Nice.
So, because then you end with nothing. You haven't seen the side of it yet to know that it's a slap bracelet.
No way. I love it. I love it.
I was hanging out with Keith Fields working his show in Detroit, went to the dollar store with Lady Sarah, and I was like, oh my God, they have slap bracelets. Wow. I have to have one. If I had known, I've done a couple lectures since then, and every magician would have paid like $25 for these. I should have bought a ton of them.
It's amazing.
Totally.
Even after I told them that I only paid $1, they all wanted it, and I didn't realize there was a ruler on the back. I was just like, slap bracelet, and then and then all of a sudden, as I'm playing, I was like, oh, there's a ruler. That's interesting. And then as I'm playing with it, I realized I started developing like, oh, if I could just do like.
That's brilliant. I love it.
So clean.
You don't know what it is, so it looks like a solid thing. It comes out.
That's great.
And then vanish when it goes. I just slap it on my arm and
so sick.
Good. So good.
So sick. I love it, Michael.
Get rid of the sound, if you get rid of the sound, then you actually have a good vanish. But you hear this click noise, like the slap. But it's just fun.
Play some music or something.
That's right. No, that was really great. Yes.
So,
excellent.
Yay. Thank you. There you go. I think it's my only invention.
I love it. That's great.
Cool.
That's great.
My invention magic trick. Yep. So you inspired me to be inventive.
I love it.
Cool. I'm glad you do. I'm glad to share that with you. All right. Well, I should let you guys go and wrap things up. So we're gonna go right into our little contest piece, where it's a contest that you don't necessarily know you're involved in. But it's not a contest that you necessarily want to win, because it's called the Magician's Pose Contest, which means and now normally I pit people against each other, so it's magicians against other magicians, and like I say, they don't necessarily want to win, because generally when you think of a magician's pose, you're thinking of like the cheesiest look possible. So it's kind of winning an award for the cheesiest look. But I had enough to go with that I didn't really have to pit Mario against other magicians. I decided, well, what we can do is we can just pit Mario against Mario.
I thought we were friends, Michael. I thought we were friends.
It's great. So we have a little intro piece here, and then I'll get into the yeah, let's do this. Here we go.
Classic Mario.
Oh man, I can't believe it. He's got the music too.
I know. It's perfect.
That's great. It's great. I love it.
Cool. I got to figure out how to stop it now.
Just play it forever.
Okay, there we go.
Bravo.
That might be my temporary profile pic. I'm gonna have to change it.
Oh, I'll send it to you. It's hilarious.
Yeah, send it to me. I love it.
Thank you to Meadow Perry who came up with that, put that together for me. I was like,
That's
"What is this?"
Nice.
Oh, this is great.
Nice.
So that's the intro to the contest. Were you hearing the music twice? It was actually playing twice for me, but
No,
hopefully-
I heard
no.
it once.
Okay,
I heard
good.
it once.
Perfect. All right. So now going over here to show you my tech skills with OBS. What happens is we're gonna show 3 pictures, and then let everybody in chat vote, and then whichever one gets the most votes is the winning pose. So got to do a quick presto change-o over here, and so this is pose number 1. This is Mario pose number 1. Which actually I need to change. Well, we're gonna want to see your reaction, so that's
Classic.
fine. We can just go it that way.
Classic
Um,
That's
Mario.
a classic Mario.
Yeah.
Classic Mario.
That's classic.
What was interesting about and you guys can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. What was interesting is in going through Mario's pictures is that they are not necessarily traditional magician's poses, and that's what I love about. Like, I don't see you as a traditional magician. That's why I said at the beginning. Like, I think that doesn't show you the scope of what we're dealing with. So you're gonna see some more unusual poses here that you wouldn't necessarily see. In none of these, I could not find a single photograph where he's fanning cards, which is so
We
unusual.
gotta go
Yeah.
way back for that.
I fan
Way
robots. I fan robots. Yeah.
So what do you want to call this one? 'Cause
That's the.
That's like my Eugene Bolt.
Yeah, Usain
You know,
Bolt.
homage. It's a little thing.
That fastest man in the world.
Yeah,
pose.
yeah. I kind of
Eugene-
pretend that I'm
Eugene
like.
Bolt?
Yeah.
Usain, I
You're
think.
saying, yeah, I'm not
Usain-
pronouncing his name, but
Usain Bolt.
yeah, I love him.
Okay,
The
that's okay.
fastest
The
man in the
Usain Bolt
world.
pose.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not a dab. Is that what they call it? Is that what the kids are
Oh
saying?
yeah, there might be a little
Similar.
influence. There might be a little influence.
Similar.
A little
Okay, so-
dab influence. Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
little dabble, do you?
Yeah, little
okay,
dabble,
so
little dabble.
a little bit of a dab. All right, and now we're going to move on to pose number 2, Mario pose number 2, and this
Yes!
is
Another
amazing.
classic.
That is my pose. I love that.
It is
That one I'm not
it is
ashamed
a levitation. And, you know, it's a levitation. Obviously, he created it's a gimmicked phone booth.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's weighted. It took him a few months to construct. It's made out of
Yeah.
cardboard.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of
and,
wires. A lot of wires.
and what do you call? And you got the hand over the hat. It kind of looks
Yeah,
like
that's-
I would call it Michael Jackson being scared by a snake.
Okay, let's go
It
with
is
that.
not a cool pose anymore. Okay. I got it. You're totally right. It
That's
isn't
good.
MJ scared of a snake, or I don't know. Or it's me playing Super Mario in the real
Oh
world.
yeah.
Oh, nice. All right.
I'm jumping over a
Go back,
turtle.
back to
Yes, yes. Oh God, I'm never gonna. I feel like I'm gonna see this for years to come. There we go.
beautiful. Yeah, and of course we love the hat pose as well. Pose number I don't remember what this one is, but pose number 3. Oh yes.
Oh
you're both
my
involved in this
gosh!
one.
Where did you find that? Oh my
This is the Magician's Mustache, brought to you by either Red Vine or Twizzler. I couldn't tell. I zoomed in and tried to tell.
Twizzler
I'm not
for
sure who your
Wow.
sponsor is.
Wow. There's a
Now-
lot going
This
on.
is
in
what
that.
happens when
There's a
you're
lot going on in
on
that.
like hour 12 of the day driving.
This is a road trip pose.
Yes.
Yeah, I look a little crazy actually. I don't know what.
we both
I must
look
have
crazy.
eaten a lot of
We
those.
both look crazy.
That's
So-
We-
where did you find that? This is crazy.
Well, brought to you by Meadow Perry, who does amazing.
Meadow,
research
we're
and,
gonna have a chat after this, Meadow.
No, I think we texted that picture to Eric Tate because he like texted us in the middle of he's like, "What are you guys doing right now?" And that was our
Oh
reply.
yeah, that's right. That
And
was
then
an
we-
Eric Tate
Then we posted it online.
pic image
that
that we
would make
sent
sense.
over to Eric
Uh,
Tate. Yeah, that's right. We do that sometimes. We send Eric random pictures
Yeah.
for him
Eric has been a guest on the show and is a great friend of the show. So
Awesome.
yeah,
He's
that would make
absolute
perfect sense.
legend.
So we're just gonna
Yeah.
blame him for this one. But
Yeah. Thanks, Eric.
Guys, this is
Why
what
did you
have-
give him that pic, Eric?
No, we posted it.
Oh,
but
all right.
this is what you have
Sorry,
to
Eric.
aspire to if you want to be a touring magic
Yeah,
family.
just eat a lot of red things.
Now you're gonna
Indeed.
either win over some people or lose some people,
Oh,
but I would
no.
like to know the answer. If you remember,
Oh.
are those Twizzlers or Red Vines?
I'm pretty sure they're Twizzlers.
I don't
but
know. We might have gotten those at a Bucky's.
I
It
don't
could
know.
be a
Ah.
Bucky's vine. I don't know.
I don't
You
know.
well by
Or
mentioning
Busey's,
Buc-ee's.
as some people say Busey's. I think
Busey's.
Busey's.
Oh, they say Busey's instead of Buc-ee's.
I'm joking. We don't want to get
Yeah.
anyone angry.
That's hilarious.
Beaver Nuggets.
Well,
Beaver
just you won back, regardless of whether they're
Yeah,
because it's a
Beaver
constant
Nuggets.
debate between Red Vine and Twizzler, regardless of what they think.
I
You
think
won 25% back by mentioning Buc-ee's.
Okay,
for sure.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Okay, good.
Yeah, absolutely. Buc-ee's is huge,
We
especially down
always
here in
look
the
out.
South.
We always look out for the Buseys. We always look out.
I don't even know who would say Busey's. Where would that? Like,
I
what
don't
part of
know.
the country would say that? I'm
I
trying to
don't know.
picture. Would it be like a Minnesota
I'm
or
joking.
something? Like,
It's a Bucky's.
oh, honey, stop at the Busey's.
That's right.
I can't even figure out what type of accent to use there.
We're all about it. We're all about it. But this
maybe
has been
somebody from
really
Europe.
fun.
So that's 3 poses. Now, while we let our chat vote on those to find out which one is the winning pose, I'll show you something else that I invented. I almost forgot about, and that
Oh.
is invisible water.
What?
What?
So
Yo,
what I do
what
is
is
when I'm streaming,
happening?
I don't want people to see that I have to take a sip when I'm doing these. So
What the
I invented this invisible water so
Oh
that
my
I can yeah,
My brain hurts right now. I don't.
That's awesome.
I haven't been on Zoom in so long. I don't know what's happening.
and
This,
nobody can see.
magic.
Michael,
It's magic.
Magic water. Completely.
that's amazing.
yeah,
Actually,
completely
that was really
invisible.
awesome.
That's a great idea.
Wait, I don't get it.
That's a great idea.
Do you
That was
not? Do
really
you not
good.
get it? I can't explain it.
No, don't. No, I like the
Okay, I'm
mystery.
gonna explain. Like, yeah, never mind. It's completely magic. It's
I
called,
really don't know it. I love it. Is it a green screen or something? What is it?
yeah. I'm totally green screened here. I have I don't think I have it set where I can just turn it off. But yeah, the whole room is green screened for my VR capture stuff. And so I'm glad you didn't realize, because I tried it. I'm having a little trouble with my lighting, but generally people don't know that this is a green screen
Yeah, it
background
doesn't
behind
look
me.
it at all.
Well,
It looks
it's
so
my
good.
actual shelves, but they're really over there. So it's a picture of my shelves that
I got
I'm
you.
using there.
Really clever.
And so anything green, is gonna
I
be
love it.
chromed out. In fact, my friend who I was telling you about, who'll be watching this, we call him Onion, Zypher Orion, who is a maker in his own right and has 3D printed me some
nice.
cool stuff. He started calling this chroma juice. So because you have to adjust the chroma
Right,
when
right.
you're using green screen. Oh, and here's something green.
Oh,
What the
there you
heck
go.
is that? Oh, there's something.
Something.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, it was upside down, but yeah, there's something.
That's
There's
freaky.
something for you.
That's great.
That's really cool.
Just to give you an idea here, like this freaks people out on when I have Zoom calls with people. Here, I'll give you an idea of how crazy it looks as a green screen. I gotta take this off.
Ah!
No!
Oh, that's really funny.
That is the coolest thing I've seen in a long time.
That's great.
Where'd he go?
It's like Willy Wonka.
Kitten.
Ah! Yay!
We could do this all day.
kitty.
Just keep bringing cats.
Aw.
So cute. What a cutie.
So cute.
Aw.
So cute. That was great.
Yeah, that was really fun. I
It's
love
like
that.
Willy Wonka style.
That was really cool watching you walk back there.
Right. I sometimes I forget, and actually I freak some people out because they're like, "What the heck is happening?"
I love it.
It's a weird realm. So I think we've given everybody enough time to vote. And Meadow, do we have a tabulation of the votes here to see which of the poses won? I was supposed to show everybody. I'll show everybody now, but hopefully you remembered. You were supposed to choose 1, 2, or 3. And just to reiterate here, so you have pose number 1 is known as the dab or the
Usain Bolt.
Usain
Oh, yeah.
Bolt.
The Usain Bolt dab.
The Usain Bolt dab. Pose number
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
is the MJ snake scare with the foam, the classic phone booth levitation. And then pose number 3 is the Red Vine Magician Mustache, brought to you by Busey's. And the winner. Oh wait. I'm sorry. I was showing them. I can see them. Let me go back. I can see them, but I didn't bring the screen over. So here we go. All right. So pose number 1. There we go. Boy, I timed that. I'm looking at my OBS over here. You can't even see it. Pose number 2 is the MJ Snake Scare, and then pose number 3 is the.
There's a
Magician
terrible
Mustache.
picture.
No, she looks great.
Oh, Katie looks amazing.
look
I don't know. I look like
I look possessed.
we were
And-
We lost our mind that day.
That's what a road trip will do to you.
Yeah.
And the winner is, drum roll please. Oh, the Tonight Show family portrait
Sneaky.
with Jimmy Fallon. That's the winner. Wow. Who gets a picture with Jimmy Fallon with the whole family? So we had to include that one. That is our winning
I
pose.
love that picture.
Oh,
That
so
was
nice of
sweet.
you guys to take a picture with Jimmy. He's like, hey, can I take a picture with you guys? And you're like,
Totally,
fine.
totally.
We were trying to get it back on the road. But, beautiful. That is our winning pose. And I'm so happy the contest is back. I honestly, I got moving with the show, and we did this initially, and I kind of forgot about it. I kind of dropped it. Just because, it's extra effort to find the pictures and put them in the program and everything. And then I was like, people were asking about it, and Meadow was like, why haven't you been doing your Magician's Pose contest? And it's true.
Yeah.
I wanted ideas like that. I wanted segments like that to make the show unique and make it
it's
stand
so
out.
cool.
And
So cool.
I'm gonna put together a montage of just the Magician's Pose of the
Oh, I
different ones
love
we've
it.
done. And so,
Definitely
and it's
should.
back. The contest is back. So in future episodes, be watching for it, because you will see more of the Magician's Pose. And then eventually, we're gonna put the winning poses. We'll put them against each other. So I will pit you against other magicians.
Oh, I love it.
No.
I'll be voting in the future.
Those are hard to
thank you.
beat. Those
Yeah.
all of
Good
those
ones.
poses are going to be hard to beat. Those are great, fantastic. And I'll send you the Mario versus Mario video too. Make sure.
Yes, please
Yeah.
do.
Oh my
Go out there.
gosh.
Love that. All right. Closing thoughts, and then we'll end it. Let you get out of here. I guess what I want to let you share with everybody is, first of all, remind you guys to show up at Katie's workshop so you can learn a lot about how to market this kind of stuff and bring your show to the next level. But if you had to sum up for someone like advice of what your takeaway has been in your journey. I know that's a lot to ask to like put that, into like a sentence, but we'll try to make a quote of the day. We do have a quote from Katie that says, "Magic in a lot of ways is a collaborative art form." I love that.
Yeah.
I had that from earlier, but closing thoughts. Take it away, Mario Maker and Maker's wife.
Like I say in my show, do what you love. That when you're excited about anything in life, the world gets excited with you, and like use that in every magic trick that you hold and that you perform, that you create. Make sure that the pattern, the thoughts that you're thinking are things that excite you. We're like a little ball of energy, and when we get excited, that energy magnetizes into the audience, and that's been something I try to think of every performance. Am I doing what I love? Like, am I saying the things that I love and everything that I do? And that's been something that's helped me.
100%. What he said, I can't top that. I mean, that's our whole mantra with her. It is. I can't top that. It is literally the mantra that we tell ourselves every year when we're kind of like reassessing what our goals are. Like, are we really doing what we love right now? Is this what excites us? Or is this what we think that we should be doing because it's cool? You know, like, go into your own heart, your family's heart, talk to yourselves and really figure that out.
And
your path is your path. You don't
right.
have to follow anyone else's path,
Yeah.
Figure out what works for you and do that.
Yeah, it's true. And and the other last thing I'll say is, like, you're never too old to do what you love, And if you think about it, Google a picture of Henri Matisse in his late 70s holding giant scissors in a bed, cutting out shapes and redefining art and how we look at beauty, And it's just something to think about. You're never too old to change what you're doing and do what you love, for sure. Why are you laughing?
Because of what he said, Katie.
Pose.
That's what he said.
This was really fun, Michael. We had so much fun talking to
You guys are awesome.
and we
I'd
love your
to
cats. And
we're gonna hang out. I'd love to see you in
Yeah.
person and love
That'd
to
be
bring
great.
you back. Thank you for taking the time to do this. I
Yeah.
look forward to your workshop and more to come. Definitely want to talk more about that in the future. That definitely sparked my interest. Love that you're doing that. And yeah, best of luck in all your ventures. Anybody out there who
Thank
gets
you.
a chance to see you, I'm #jealous because I absolutely loved your performance at the IBM.
thanks.
It was fantastic, and that's our sponsor for this show. So it's great that you've been involved with them as well. And we'll see you next time, guys. Give it up, put your hands together for Mario the Maker
Thank you,
and
guys.
Katie Marchese.
Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you,
Thank
IBM.
you.
Thank you, Meadow Perry in the background.